welcome back. We are into what looks like the final map. Unless it goes to 1 million overtimes, in which case maybe we'll have to go on to like an aim map, because this has been a ridiculously long series, a 16-14, a double overtime victory. And now we end up on Dust2. For anybody wondering, of course, the next matchup will be coming up just after this. So you are just getting extra Counter-Strike today. You're not missing anything. And of course, that will be forZe taking on Nordavind to see who will face off against, I believe, the winner of this game in the lower bracket final. And then obviously the loser of our upper bracket game. It sounds more complicated than it is. Alex, we're into our pistol round. Take it away.
That we are, Todd. Krad is getting aggressive down mid, and there are players alongside him this time round. kinqie pushing through short. He's got a player behind him, but Krad's the man put under pressure, and the Glocks are getting up close and personal. Still, the trades don't look too bad for Hard Legion, but some of their players have taken quite a lot of damage here. The fights for mid continue. The bomb's finally been dropped, and HAVU may have a man on the B site, but they don't have the bomb to help him.
Ooh, sLowi's just made noise. I don't think that was part of the plan. svyat's managed to sneak his way past, but he doesn't quite connect the shots. It's an awkward altercation. Sora's also found a kill onto Rage. Throne's the only healthy man left. Nice shot from svyat, though. We'll leave it all on to Sor in a 1 versus 2 situation. He has managed to retrieve the bomb, so he's going to go darting his way towards the A site. Wondering maybe if he's going to catch someone on the flank. He's going to go back. Actually kills off Throne. That's the healthier of the 2 players. And he's going to get a kill onto svyat as well. Big clutch from Sor. Good to see him back in the server. 4 kills in the pistol round. And more importantly, a good start for HAVU.
Yeah, that's both of the bottom fraggers on the previous map for each team showing up here on the pistol. svyat was the bottom fragger on train. I think he ended on 15 or 18 kills. He shows up with a 3K, but it's not enough to overcome Sor, who, again, was the bottom fragger for his team on train. But he gets the quad kill for his team, and now they have to overcome a 4-spy here into the second round. sLowi with the scout, looking down mid, but there are no fights available to him. It's the B site where the action will come on through. kinqie quickly dealt with. Throne also follows his teammate to an early grave. And this round is basically done and dusted within the first 30 seconds.
Wow, hoody also going for the repeak. Just dropping some extra weaponry, and of course the remaining players are just going to look to save whatever they can into the next round. You can see Rage already with a little bit of extra cash. Actually goes for the wide peek. Not really sure of the value of that, as it now means he won't have anything going into the next, as he needs to save that extra cash to make sure he gets the AWP. Krad actually has a chance at kill onto sLowi, but he's going to wait to see if anybody crosses instead. May hear some footsteps jumping around. Might be a temptation to go for a peek here, but he's got a kit as well, which might just be something he wants to try and bring into the next round anyway. So it will be 2-0. HAVU off to a good start on their T side. And I think I'm almost happy that they lost the knife round, because I think we've seen a lot more from their T side of this map. And they played the CT side, or chose to choose the CT side against Nemiga, and actually got slapped. So it might be good to finally see their T side for a bit.
Yeah, it started out well for them as well. I do wonder whether HAVU will be expecting a kit in this round, which Krad has saved. Like, in theory, maybe there's a chance that that can come into play somehow, because it's probably somewhat unexpected. But Hard Legion would have to land that some shots in the first place to help that happen, to get themselves into a position where that has an impact. A long control gathered by HAVU early into this one. Pretty standard when you're against what you know is a low buy. You can just use your range advantage with the rifles. Even if you are against Deegs, you should be able to land the shots required to take a long control. Hard Legion have currently got all their players stacked in mid, but Krad has pushed all the way into top mid, and ZOREE is waiting in the wings with the Galil. Gets himself 2 kills for his troubles. sLowi gets one of his own, and the A site will be taken shortly. Even though Krad's on this flank, I don't know how much he's going to be able to do here. Maybe the 1 kill, but now they know where he is.
Yeah, not going to get anything more. A couple of kills at least will force some rebuys, and we are going to see the rifles retrieved at least. Maybe lost a Galil or two along the way, but not really the end of the world. But this is where we get to see the proper buy coming up for either side. Now, the odds actually gone right down. People believing a little bit more in Hard Legion, and understandably so. Even with a stand-in, they've put up a good fight versus HAVU. Well, we have the AWP onto both sides. Rage facing off against ZOREE. ZOREE's probably been the better of the two over the series so far. Doesn't mean that he's going to be in this map.
Ooh, quick kill from Saw, and that's going to prompt them to push into this A-bomb site. Krad taking a tiny bit of damage through the smoke, but it's the A-long play that's making the difference right now. Krad also caught off guard, and this is much more like it from HAVU, stamping their authority on this game at the start of Dust2. And kinqie is accepting his fate that he's going to have to try and save. I said try and save. Didn't say he was going to be successful.
Well, he gets absolutely ruined, and those are the sort of rounds we really didn't witness in the last map at all from HAVU. Like, there was one or two on their CT side, but on the T side they always seem to struggle. If anything, looking a little bit more comfortable on Dust2, at least in the early stages. Also, something that HAVU never really seemed to do is get off to a good start. They always seem to win the pistol, lose the second, and end up in a bit of an awkward position financially. ZOREE trying to find a man on the cross, but the fact is the CT side have sent 3 men over to this B site, trying to get themselves a cheeky little stack, and left 2 other players holding on for long.
It's been a pretty basic start as well from HAVU in terms of these plays they've been running in some of these early rounds, just taking A long and pushing the A site in that first gun round, which I think HAVU could probably get away with doing more of. In this one, they're a bit more complex with it, but they are splitting onto the B site, using some nades and clearing the corners that they need to. Not much resistance shown by Hard Legion so far in this game, just the 1 kill for them, even though they had quite a few players stacked onto the B site. And just in general, not too many kills other than the pistol round for the Hard Legion side of things. That's going to have to change here, though. They've got another buy on the board, but if they're not careful, HAVU could start to run away with this.
Yeah, this is the map where momentum is probably one of the biggest factors, especially with how the layout of the map actually works. You see players going for early aggression on either side, these picks towards long doors, and try and take the fight based off where their spawn actually is. This is risky from Doto. There is going to be an AWP on the other side, but it's Rage currently setting up the players in towards long. The CT's taking a bit of a risk, but of course, that's what you have to do on Dust2. You have to take risks. It's almost impossible to cover everything off unless your players are all in form, but that's not a bad start. Rage is going to kick things off with an opener, something we really haven't seen too much of from Hard Legion thus far in the match, but instead the change of pace is actually going to be into the middle. kinqie good for 1. Pete coming back through, the spam through the smoke, not quite landing any shots, and Throne is left completely blind. In fact, falls, but Krad has found a couple instead, leaving just sLowi remaining. The push from behind and middle seemingly doing enough, and svyat boosted over the top will give Hard Legion their first round.
Yeah, that's more like it from Hard Legion. And from Krad getting some kills in that round. I think that overall, HAVU had, again, a decent idea to split onto B. I don't mind the decision to go for that, but losing that bomb was obviously going to be a big problem for them. And Hard Legion starting to land some shots. A double-up setup in play for them. Throne has been playing on the B site so far, and in all honesty, he's been struggling in most of the rounds. I'm just thinking that he's still 0-6, if I'm not mistaken. So perhaps having this AWP will help him on the hold. Because they've got that AWP solo holding B, though, Hard Legion are very A-focused, and the timing is just right for Rage. Again, we're seeing slightly more aggressive stances taken by Rage in these rounds here. And it's good to see. He gets his team the opening kill.
In the meantime, they are still going to look to pressure onto short. The AWP no longer holding from such an aggressive angle. The spot comes in from sLowi, trying to hit some shots with the spam, but ultimately his smoke doesn't give him enough cover, and wow, That's almost too easy a kill for Krad. You definitely need to start predicting that one. svyat actually just burning down to 36 HP, but luckily, while blind, Rage has got another kill. Not going to allow them to get in to his position. The flank also coming, but ZOREE is prepared for it. However, there's a second man coming from the same angle. Nice shot from Saw, though. He spins around and grabs the second. He's even going to fake out the bomb plant. However, with both players on AWPs, there's a genuine chance that the trade frag won't come through. It's a missed shot initially, but Rage will trade. A very costly round at least, but it is going to be Hard Legion to take themselves a second. And more importantly, the T's, if they buy, which they will, and win this round, they could be in a pretty good position.
Yeah, definitely got to give a Saw a nice try for that one. Some magnificent shots being landed from him, but not enough to win the round. And as you said, both teams buy, but both teams leave themselves with limited cash left behind. Ooh, Rage really is going for more of these fights so far on this CT side. I'm enjoying this, but it might be a bit much. No, he wins that fight against ZOREE. Really quick on the trigger there, Rage. Gets that kill. ZOREE was holding the angle. He had every advantage, but Rage is the one who gets away with it. And now he's going to reposition over to A long, where he may have the opportunity for another shot. Rage really getting involved early here on Dust2. A lot of early action from him, and he keeps on giving his team the early advantage.
Yeah, and I'm liking it. There's something that we don't normally see from him. A relatively passive AWPer a lot of the time, but it seems like having a player missing has maybe given him a bit more free space to roam around. Although I will say forZe is normally the B anchor player, so I'm not sure how much of that plays a part. Krad, the man who normally takes most of that space, and he's actually just going to get traded out. Instead, sLowi hits the shot onto Rage, and now this opens up that A site. There's still one more player here, but I'm not really sure from this angle what can be achieved. svyat just holding for the headshot position, but Saw's already crossed, looking to just get that bomb down. kinqie has found a kill onto Doto. Saw actually goes for the peak, definitely feeling more confident. Bear in mind, he was one of the worst performers in the last map. He's now 12 and 2. And Throne and kinqie are left in a retake.
Yeah, and the bomb's planted for long, where sLowi is going with the AWP. So this is actually a good post-plant setup by HAVU here. They've got to be the ones who are favored in this position. Even if Saw is somewhat trapped on the site, having the AWP in pit is so valuable when the plant's like this. Saw's got a Molotov as well, which might buy more time, especially as the bomb continues to tick. If Saw could time that right, it might work out for him, but it's the CT's incendiary that's going to be the issue. Saw goes down, but here comes the AWP. First shot good for sLowi, and he realizes that he doesn't need to peek. The bomb is too far gone. sLowi will win the round with the AWP on long, and Throne just about is able to get away with the AWP of his own. But HAVU back to winning ways, and Hard Legion back down to a low buy. Although Rage has got that AWP, and he's been landing shots. So this is the perfect round to go for that again.
Yeah, of course. If you would like to get yourself a cheeky refill bonus, you can go over to Hellcase. SLTB15 is the code you will need. ZOREE. He's ready. He's waiting. He's expecting Rage this time, but Rage actually playing a bit more of a passive stance. Throne actually goes down through the smoke on B as well, so an opener for this T side. They're going to gamble. This is understandable, especially with the position currently being held by Krad, the madman, who loves to take away map control just off of a whim. Seems to have some sort of psychic powers to where the space is going to be. And actually, the Molotov doesn't force svyat out, but he decides to make a move anyway. It may not matter, though, as we can see the only being within the site is going to be the Goose. And in case you haven't realized, that is actually just a picture. Unfortunately, that means there's nobody there left to kill them, unless the Goose gets angry and decides to take the fight himself.
Geese can be vicious, man. There were geese on my campus at uni.
I can definitely imagine you running away from a goose. Like just a flock of geese just chasing you back to your halls.
One time I was carrying some shopping home from the shop, and the goose came over and it's tried to get involved. I just lifted it up over its head, and luckily the goose didn't get too angry.
I don't believe that. I reckon that the goose got away with your shopping.
Yeah,
and then
traumatized
you
me
just
for
went
life.
home.
Yeah. It was so sad.
And the goose looked at you, and you could tell from the look it gave you, it was like, keep away from my patch.
Look at me. I am the captain now. I tell you what, geese... What are baby geese called? I don't know, but they were very fluffy and very cute. I can tell you that. There you go. That's a fun fact of the day for you.
I don't think that's that uncommon though. Like that's the case
still.
with most
I
baby
know,
animals. Like I don't think there's anybody who walks around going that baby animal is ugly. Like that's kind of just a given.
All right. I was just sharing, Tom.
Not even baby.
Do you not want me to share? I shouldn't have asked that question, should I?
No, not really. Good start for the CT side, however. This long push has been completely quelled by Hard Legion. They've gone for this gamble a few times of this 3-man stack towards long. It's one of the common risks taken. Nice shot from ZOREE, though. However, a 1v5 seemingly fairly unlikely. If he can get the kill onto Throne, that was so unnecessary. Wanted the AWP so bad. There is still svyat just watching. But I'm not really sure what he's watching. I guess just a pixel angle to give him enough information. Saw somebody walk past. A 1 and a 0. And with the flank, of course, coming in from Krad, svyat will be the one to eventually get the kill. 7-3. Hard Legion looking to try and drag this one back a little bit. The T side, though, do still have enough cash, but if ZOREE does want his AWP, it will have to be a glass cannon one.
Yeah, a couple of AKs being bought already. ZOREE will go for that glass cannon AWP you were talking about. A couple of nades alongside it. And Saw goes down to a Tech 9, which is a bit of a shame, because Saw has been exquisite with the AK early in this game. B-site has been left pretty open at the start of this round for Hard Legion. Throne is playing as that B-site anchor. And I wouldn't mind HAVU testing that B-site a little bit more in some of these rounds, because he's still struggled. I think Throne still has 0 kills. And I feel like HAVU haven't tested him too much recently. So if he is going to be playing alone on B, I wouldn't mind HAVU giving that a go. The start of this one, though, Rage has got, once again, kills to start the round. Make it 2 from him. His short play has been superb so far, and he gets away with a 2-man lead for his team.
Yeah, I'd quite like to see them go for another mid to B split. That's been something that's been fairly successful for them. Instead, it's Doto just trying to push in as a solo aggressor. Down enough now that he feels the risk is worth taking. Throne goes for the peak, doesn't connect a single bullet. Well, okay, he does connect a single bullet. Shouldn't be any way that this gets traded back. It's a little bit awkward now, as Doto's still alive. Throne should have him dead to rights, but I almost feel like just a confidence issue at the moment. Not wanting to peek, doesn't even realize that Doto's just left. He's probably going to be continuing to check those angles for the next few minutes, just shoulder peeking. Instead, ZOREE actually finds an opener elsewhere. Rage is going down, but with 30 seconds left, Krad has managed to thread the needle. Free kill onto the first, almost a kill onto the second, but that could be the difference maker. But they've got to do something here. 20 seconds left on the clock. A move needs to be made. Saw knows it as well. He's going to try and just use the flash to cross. Instead, blinds himself, and svyat kills both people.
Yeah, that was a really intense round at the end there. Somehow, Krad only gets the 1 kill. ZOREE must have been really quick on the reaction to get that shot in time. But at the same time, it didn't do enough for them. svyat with those 2 kills landing at mid. And I wonder if it is just a slow start for Throne that's taken away his confidence somewhat. Sometimes you get those players that get into their heads. If they have 0 kills, maybe they look at the scoreboard and they start to panic.
Me.
Yeah,
that's
I'm absolutely the same.
My whole match can be defined by how I start. And that's because I am mentally weak.
It's not about how you start, Tom. It's about how you finish. I'll be there to be your motivational coach in future games.
I'm hoping we're still talking about Counter-Strike.
Yes, we are, Tom. Yes, we are.
Good.
Bomb's been lost here. HAVU haven't got much to do. In fact, they've got nothing to do. They have lost this round. They've got guns into the next, though. Again, I still feel like HAVU have had some rounds where the end goal hasn't been clear. I wouldn't mind them going for some faster aggression where they have a clear goal in mind to begin the round, especially because Rage has been really good at getting aggressive with the AWP. I feel like a faster play might be a decent idea for them. But this time round, the fast play with the pistols was pretty easily countered. Here we go, though. Round 13 coming into play, and HAVU are continuing this default setup. Saw is not ready for svyat in such an aggressive position, though. And this has happened a couple of times for HAVU. When they spread out at the start of these rounds, they seem to be losing these fights more often than not. We've also got a switch up on B. It was Throne playing B. Now kinqie's there, and Rage is helping out from mid.
Yeah, that could be down to just the players having the right spawn for long. That's fantastic, though, from kinqie. Double spray down. The early momentum that HAVU's had is clearly diminished into almost nothing. As the T side are struggling, and ZOREE, is the plan really to save a Galil? I don't want to harp on the Galil, although I'm going to. I don't know why that would be something that you consider saving. I do wonder if maybe he's just trying to find something else across the map, do some damage, catch somebody else in a bit of an awkward position who might not be able to see him. Ducking down, of course, to deny any vision from mid. At the same time, they definitely know where he is because he's making a hell of a lot of noise. So, easy cleanup. Hard Legion get their 6th. Continue on their road to equalizing things. It is impressive, though, that the 4 remaining members of Hard Legion, excluding the stand-in, are actually all having a very good performance. And while Saw had a step up, he was 12-2. He's now 12-8. So, yeah, since then it's been a little bit rougher for Saw, and I'm hoping that won't be just his combo breaker, where he now slows down for the rest of the map and we don't really see him again, because that's what happened on Train, at least, and, well, that's probably the main reason they lost, is because he wasn't able to have the performances we know he can.
Quick aggression from HAVU up short. svyat's here to slow them down with the Molotov. Saw has invested pretty heavily into this one, down to $800, and the aggression is not working out for them. Oh, great shot from svyat. I thought he got both of those, but it was Krad who took them away.
He didn't even get the first one either.
Oh, did he not? Well,
yeah, he ended up with 1 kill in that round. He probably should have had 3.
Wow, that's a surprise. Well, that just shows how quick his teammates are, how good everyone's playing on Hard Legion.
Everyone?
Well, Throne got his first kill, all right? He can join the club.
I was talking about kinqie. What do you mean?
Oh.
Well, scoreline equalised. The early start is now completely gone, meaningless, as the comeback has come in. That push through long has just not worked any of the times they've attempted it. Their main success was actually like mid and short. Those were the 2 positions that it seemed like Hard Legion was struggling, but they adapted, and since then, HAVU have basically just been running into a brick wall, and it's a bit of a worry because, as I said, when facing off against Nemiga, they really struggled at the pace that Nemiga were throwing in a lot of the rounds, getting a lot of good opening picks, and if Raid can continue to do the same amount of damage, maybe get Krad performing as well on that T side, I really could see a struggle for HAVU. They've lost a 2nd man now as Krad has continued his push. He's still going, by the way. No surprise, of course. The man has no fear. He has no S key.
Is the bomb going alone long here? That feels very risky. Hello, though. Zora's got an opening kill that might make all the difference. That bomb could still be caught at long, though, is a big problem. Krad's just waiting, but HAVU are hoping the players on the site can make the difference. svyat's looking to hold, and that's a great double peek. Zora gets the kill, but Krad is still hanging around. Bomb gets dropped, and now HAVU have a long way to go.
Yeah, they've got to try and peek in together. Flashbang comes through, and Krad's going to ace it to finish off the half. Fantastic work from him, but I completely agree. I have absolutely no idea why that was the plan. Like, that just seems like such a massive risk, especially because even in general, going through long has like so many more additions to the way that you can lose the round. Like the fact that for the cross, I don't know if they even had enough utility for him to get across if there was somebody holding from CT. They hadn't cleared long. Like, so many things could have gone wrong there, whereas they already had short control. Now, sure, rotating the bomb back late would have also had its same risks, but I feel like in the middle of the round, they should have made the decision that, well, this is not a good idea. This is not something we need to be doing. So Yeah, HAVU end up letting that last round slip after what was a very good early lead. This was a great round from Krad, but it does show his style of play. Very aggressive, likes to take fights. This flashbang I don't even think caught anyone. Oh, maybe it did get the second player, but it didn't matter. He hit both headshots and puts himself up to the top of the board. And as said, that's a very good sign going into the T side, because if he can keep up that same momentum, he's going to be really difficult to deal with. I think he's just going to try and put the pressure on this HAVU side, and if they play anything like they did versus Nemiga, they might be about to get eliminated from the tournament.
Yeah, that's a very real possibility here, and not one that seemed likely at the start of the day, but HAVU have struggled. They've not been playing up to their peak so far throughout this tournament, and certainly not in this series. Hard Legion have definitely stepped up, though. We've got to give them props, and they're looking to do the same in the pistol. Good shot from svyat. Flashbang makes life awkward for both teams, but hoody reloads at the wrong time. kinqie with 2 kills of his own, and Hard Legion should have themselves access to this A-bomb site. Even though they've only got the 1 smoke, sLowi shouldn't have much of a chance, especially as Rage has got the flank going. sLowi finally lands the shot, and there it is. Throne closes it out. 9-7 lead for Hard Legion, and winning that pistol could spell real problems for HAVU. Like you said previously, their CT side hasn't been the best on this map.
Let's go Throne. He's already had as good a second half as he did the first, which, considering they're in the lead, is actually pretty damn impressive. It shows how good the remaining members of this squad are. And the other thing that really interests me is it almost makes me think that if forZe had been playing, they might have even 2-0'd this. And that's worrying, because in terms of HAVU, we expect them to be a team like rising up into the top 20. At the moment, they're not even really coming close, not even close. So here we go, aggressive push coming through from Krad, looking to take the fight, splitting into mid. Kill going to be stolen, and Doto will at least get 1, but he's tagged to just 27 HP. A path has been paved, and svyat just kills him straight through the door. svyat having a very good game as well, which, I'll be honest, is relatively unusual. He's the in-game leader for the team. Yeah, I think you actually said before you put him in a 100 level bracket when it comes to individual skill.
Maybe that's a bit harsh.
Is that not you that said that?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say it was.
All right, I very well could have said that.
He's the strategical mastermind. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Krad go kill. Good strat. Krad, push that smoke.
I hope he's not telling Krad to do those things, because I don't think Krad needs anyone to tell him to do that.
Krad, stop it!
That's what I'd be saying.
Almost like a dog on a leash.
Yeah. Well, the B site's clear here, so there's not much to talk about in this round. The prize pool's just hit $31,400, though. A very satisfying number to me, Tom. It's even.
Someone open a case and ruin it. Make it say like 31,403.
That would look kind of alright as well. You know, as long as the prize pool's going up, Tom.
Oh, what? See, someone refund their case. I feel like that's not how that works.
No, I don't think
Otherwise,
so.
I think... Let's put it this way. If I could refund most of the cases I have opened in my whole time... In CS, of course. I would do every single one.
I've got... What's the best skin I've got? I got something that was good once. Don't remember what it was,
I got
so it wasn't that good.
the Onitage AWP.
Alright. I think I got an M4 Cyrex once.
That's not even good.
Nah, man, that's alright. I think
that's not even that. I'm pretty sure that. Well, it might be worth a bit more now, but there was a point where that skin was worth like £5.
Nah, it was like, I think it must have been like factory new or something. I think it was worth a fair amount. Because I remember I traded it for a knife.
I unboxed. Well, I've got to remember what these knives are actually called. Shadow daggers.
Yeah.
I don't call them that. I don't think many people
what
call
do you
them that.
call them, Tom?
Let's not talk about it. But I think I got them like scorched or something.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, no, that was I think worth like £40 for a knife, which was pretty bad.
That's I think about as bad as you can get.
Yeah, they were horrible. I sold them very quickly and bought myself a flip knife Autotronic, which is called the business because I'm a loser. Not as bad as my AK name, which now has actually a very high value because of the stickers that are on it, which I decided to call AK-47 Hairline because it was voted for by Twitter. So thanks people on Twitter being scumbags. But either way, we are back into the round. The buy coming up for HAVU. It's not a bad one, but it's not particularly good. There's utility missing, no head armor, no kits. But they have done some early damage. problem is they've given up a lot of space. They're going to rely heavily on ZOREE hitting the shot here, and Rage was more than prepared for his peak. That completely opens up this site, allowing for the bomb to cross and an afterplant position to begin. Sure, kinqie's gone down, but it's in a trade, so that really doesn't matter too much, and Krad's position is kind of dirty. I don't think they're going to expect this at all, and they line up. It almost was a collab, but slightly off-timed. It doesn't matter. He's got both the kills, and now Hoody has no choice but to save.
Yeah, I got to say again, I'm really enjoying what we're seeing from Rage here. Just the freedom he seems to be given is working out for him. He's probably had more impact than ZOREE on this map. Just getting that one opening kill makes a huge difference. Sure, it was partly down to just the timing being nice for him, but he's been pretty effective at landing these shots, and he hasn't done anything massively flashy in any of these rounds, but he's consistently been getting early kills. He's consistently been having impact as the AWPer of this team, and it's putting Hard Legion in a position where they are getting closer and closer to eliminating HAVU here. That is very satisfying. I love that.
Do you know what the stupidest thing I ever opened was, which if I still had to this day would probably be quite valuable?
What was it?
It was a cobble case. I opened one of the old cobble cases with Zontares on it. Space Soldier Zontares. And
what'd you get?
I got the Green Apple Nova.
Oh, sick, man.
So I've got a Green Apple Nova with a Zontares and a Space Soldier sticker on it. So if anybody wants to give me, like, 100 quid for that, it's yours. Otherwise, I'm going to be keeping it as a constant reminder of why it's a stupid idea to open cobble cases.
You have learned your lesson, Tom, at least for now.
Then again, if I've got a Dragon Lore, 1 in a million chance. Maybe not that high. Someone probably knows the odds. Nice shot from ZOREE, but short-lived. Throne starting to come alive a little bit here. 6 kills in the second half so far. For any of you mathematicians out there, that does mean he got 1 in the first half. He did get killed in the end of this round. 13-7 though, and this is where HAVU really need to make their comeback begin, because they are now fairly far behind. The odds have been in their favor pretty much throughout the whole game, up until this point. So a bit of an issue.
Yeah, it's not been going well for HAVU here in this second half. We said they have struggles on their CT side. Well, they haven't won a single round on this CT side of Dust2. That might be about to change, though. sLowi with that second AWP gets aggressive, gets an opening pick, but here comes the long play. svyat almost able to get 2 kills on the hold. Saw's out in the open as well. He's in trouble. Hard Legion have turned this into a 3 versus 2 in their favor, with Rage landing another kill. And now Doto is scrambling to get back in time, but there are too many Hard Legion players there fighting against him. It's up to sLowi, who opened up the round, to try and close it out. And he is glass cannon with his AWP, so he's not in the best position to win this.
Yeah, no kit as well, so this is going to be a really tough take. He almost has to hope for a mistake, and Rage might be about to make it. He's going to go peeking into the angle. That's a free kill, completely unnecessary. The car position going to be taken from Krad, though. I don't know if this will be expected at all. This is dirty. This man just likes to play an evil game of Counter-Strike. He is vindictive. He is manipulative. Some would even call him a monster. And he has just played with sLowi like there's no tomorrow. That was mean.
Sounds like you might be about to make a twit longer about Krad with everything you were saying there.
Honestly, I just don't like Twitter right now. It makes me sad. So let's keep away from it. It's all about Instagram. Let's put some filters on there.
Nice. I don't think any filter you could put on this CT side for HAVU would make it look good, unfortunately.
I don't know. The one where you have to, like, blink to put your face in check might be able to do it, because that one's cool. I like that one.
I don't really know anything about Instagram.
Basically, your eyes fly across, and you have to blink and catch them where your eyes should be, and then your nose flies across, and your mouth.
So it's like a
but then
game.
You can move around with wherever you got it wrong. I don't know who's designing those, but I feel like they could probably be utilizing their time a little bit better and do something really cool. But instead, they're making me filters, which make me smile. So, that works too.
There you go. Well, sLowi landed a really impressive shot at the start of this round. That might allow HAVU a chance to win this one. Doto gets a kill of his own. Stuck in the pit, though. The Molotov is going to keep him in this position, and he doesn't have much assistance right now.
No.
Oh, God. He is getting bombarded by nades. He's burning. He's into the open. He almost got a chance for a kill, but kinqie's there to keep his teammates safe, and Krad spots the aggression of hoody, so it's turned back into a 3v3. HAVU still with lots of work to do to win this one, as it's their weak weapons left.
So many advantageous positions just given up. Individual faces, risks taken, and it's just too easy for Hard Legion. This was a 5-on-3, and now only ZOREE remains. The FAMAS at least gets him that first kill. Now there's 30 seconds left for the remaining players to fight for this site. The nade dunks onto him for just a few HP, and Krad even going to close this out. He is having a mammoth game. 26-8 for Krad. I said he can be a little bit hit and miss, and we've seen it throughout the day. But this has been a fantastic performance from him, and he has been unparalleled within the server. 15-7. HAVU, they took it to overtime last time. They just about closed out the first map after having to drag back from 12-3. Now they're in an even worse scenario, especially now that Doto's head has been removed through the doors. They only flip one set of doors. That one has not been saved just yet. Risky from ZOREE, but it pays off. Even still, though, Krad is there to catch the remaining member. He's going to continue his push through long, wait for his teammates to come alongside him as ZOREE tries to get aggressive. Now, every single one of these pushes has failed, but this one will work. kinqie's missed shots allow a little bit of space into the round. Flashbang actually going to slow them down. Now, that may seem like it won't make a difference, but it may, as now ZOREE's going to be in position to actually get up onto short. The peak, and sLowi with a wonderful shot. And now it's left all onto this man. The man to be feared probably most in the server at the moment. 27-8. He's left the bomb. I'm just going to try and wrap around. He does have plenty of time to play with. Now the long push has come in from ZOREE. He realizes that eventually Krad is going to have to make a cross. And he's going to go for the man in CT instead, but it's a scout shot connected. It will be sLowi to keep them in this match. And HAVU, they've got their 8th round.
I think all the HAVU players are still on the server. I'm not 100% sure, though. For some reason, it says Doto's dead still. So I guess we are getting that figured out. Finally, HAVU win a round, but even then, it did come pretty close at the end there. And with how Hard Legion have been able to win these T rounds, with how Krad has been playing so far in this game, you've got to think that Hard Legion will get that one round they need to take it over the line. And Unicorn agree with me.
Well, if there's any Finns out there who believe that there's a comeback, you actually get an extra $80 on Unicorn if you deposit $20 during the StarLadder Hellcase Cup. So you could deposit, get that extra cash, bet it all on HAVU with those ridiculous odds, and make how much money, Alex?
Lots of money.
Oh, I thought you look smart. Come on, you should have been able to work that one out.
I think the fact that I look smart, I'll take as a compliment.
It's probably just the glasses,
yeah,
if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I'm stereotyping.
Yeah. It works, though, because I can just say things, and then people are like, oh, it's an English guy with glasses. He must be right.
Yeah, the same way I feel like people would probably take my recommendation on crisps. Like I feel like I look like I look like somewhere you go, that guy's eating a lot of crisps. Like, he knows what he's talking about. Being fat, and maybe the bald even goes into that bit. Again, you probably wouldn't take my recommendation on shampoo, but that's
I don't know. Is there like beard shampoo? Is that a thing?
I'm sure there is. There's beard oil. There's beard oil. A lot of people use beard oil.
That's true.
I do not because it's very short, so I don't really need to.
Fair enough.
I trim it.
Well, HAVU have got to win 7 more rounds. They only just won their first one, and Hard Legion still have a good buy across the board, everything they could want. Rage has the AWP as well, and he's generally been getting entry kills, although that's changed in some of the recent rounds, and it's ZOREE's AWP that we should have been looking at this time, apparently. He pushes long aggressively, gets his team an early lead. Again, whenever Krad's alive, I feel like Hard Legion have a chance at the round with how he's been playing, but the lineup from sLowi is wonderfully tight.
I bet if he could have stabbed kinqie there, he would have done. Just trapped him in the doors. Oh, that's definitely not gone right. Krad trying to escape and his teammate like, no, we're pushing forward. Bit of miscommunication. Now svyat and Rage. We're going to try and bring this one back. I won't get any closer to the fire, as not only will you get burnt, but you'll give away some crucial information. They're going to go for the run boost over the top. This is risky. There's going to be the AWP thrown out. There's no one on the angle. They've got to be careful of the man actually on the ramp. That's the bigger issue, and there is still the AWP on the other side. Now the force pushes him forward, and ZOREE not going to connect this shot. He may get another opportunity. They've tried to throw the bomb, but as it may roll sometimes, this time it's trickled into position, and I'm not sure what the plan was there from svyat. Had the smoke down, had a position to plant instead. Oh, this is so risky. What is the play there for Rage? A few questionable decisions in this round, it has to be said. Hard Legion now left with not a lot of money, at least on a couple of the players, but Krad, Rage, and svyat have been a fairly decent trio so far, so they're actually going to take this risk. Rage even going to go for the glass cannon AWP alongside a flashbang. It's definitely not the best buy we've seen, but at the same time, do I doubt Hard Legion at this point? No, not really.
Ooh, Rage pushing down mid, nearly had the chance there. I think that was an Xbox smoke that Hard Legion were going for that might have missed, because that's a T smoke that's landed there at mid. Doesn't look like that's where they wanted it to go. kinqie will be playing close to the mid doors, but a CT smoke denies him. And this is kind of crazy from Saw. I was going to say, there's no way he goes through the smoke. Over at A long, Hoody and ZOREE both in positions where they could help each other out. Hoody's the man looking for the initial information. And Throne took some damage there. Flashbang gives away that he's definitely trapped on this side. And with the smoke going down, they may be able to isolate Throne in that corner here. Throne puts down a smoke of his own just to make sure he's safe. But elsewhere, Saw does get a kill at mid. He gets spammed back through the door, though, into a 4v4 position where Hard Legion continue to run down the clock.
It's looking like they might go back to this same play towards short. It's been one of the more successful ones for them. The problem is one of the most valuable pieces of utility, the Molotov for ramp, is not within their arsenal. They have one smoke, a couple of flashbangs, and they're basically just going to have to charge down ZOREE and hope that he doesn't connect his shots or that someone hits a better shot back in return. There goes the flashbang. Now they all actually set up just to try and watch the angle as they cross past. He hasn't seen how many players have actually gone through. He does connect the shot. I think he hits a second through as well. Looking for a little bit more. ZOREE in a good position, but Krad still finds another, and he's caught off guard by Krad. I'm not sure how. He's hit his 30 bomb. 10 seconds left as the bomb is planted. Cleared out of position, and Krad's found one more. Number 31. Is it enough, though? Because Doto left 1v2. Make it just one. He'll find every player at the end and keep HAVU in this match. It's far too close for comfort, but the Finns are still fighting.
Yeah, Krad trying to carry his team to victory, even though he took a lot of damage in his first fight. He kept on winning them. He kept on getting kills. It's not enough to get the round win, though, even though he is up to 31 frags. It's HAVU who stay alive, and it's Hard Legion who are probably going to take a low by this time round. Pistols across the board for them. Again, we're seeing the Tech 9 really come into play. I think the Tech 9's in a pretty good spot right now. I think the buff that it got recently doesn't make it too strong, but it makes it nice and viable. The fact we're seeing more Tech 9s even over Degs at times is cool to see, and the reason for it is you can try and close the distance, you can try and run and gun just like this. The problem is the rifles are doing a solid job at holding them off right now, and at that range, Doto is going to have an easy time of things.
Yeah, starting to get a little bit scary. HAVU building momentum. As said, it seems to be very difficult to get this team to mentally check out and just give up. Like every single time they seem to have these late fight backs when they have nothing left to lose. I hope you're enjoying the prize pool, by the way, Alex.
Yeah, loving it, man. That doesn't annoy me whatsoever. It's fine.
As if it's just gone up by one. Oh, well. Speaking of one, there is a little bit of damage. However, I'm sure Krad would have much rather not done one damage and actually managed to get a kill early in this round. Instead, it's their danger man that's gone. These solo aggressive plays are starting to be punished for Hard Legion. It's safe to say that they deserve the victory, but if they don't get it over the line, well, it may not matter. It's HAVU really starting to make this one competitive. A lot of the T's just waiting patiently outside of long after there's been a few aggressive peaks coming in earlier in the match. Throne looking like he wants to fight it. The problem is he hasn't really been too successful in this battle, and the off angle currently being held by Hoody is going to make things very awkward, because even if he misses a shot, he can just fall back into the pit, which is exactly what he's going to do. He knows that he has support a little bit further back, and his goal here is just to be as annoying as possible. Maybe try and make them waste some more utility, which is exactly what he's going to do. Still just lurking within, but unfortunately, while blind peaks a little bit further out than he would have liked, ZOREE still waiting. He's got a gap in the edge of that smoke, which might just hand him a kill. Instead, he's going to have to use his utility. A little bit lucky that that extinguishes the full Molotov, as most of the time that's not the case. However, now they're running out of time. 23 seconds on the clock, as we see that push dashing through all of the smoke. So much utility in the way. ZOREE not quite hitting his shots, though, and that might be the opener. They need another couple come back. In fact, it's all on to just sLowi to try and save them, and he won't be able to. Throne steps up exactly when they need it, and it's going to be the elimination of HAVU. I can't believe that we've got to this point. Hard Legion with a stand-in have managed to take the victory across 3 maps. They almost did it in 2. It was only a 16-14 loss for them. And on Dust2, I think it was clear that they were the better team.
Yeah, that round at the end there as well. Just kind of chaos across the board. But that's, I think, the way that Hard Legion would want to close it out, in all honesty. With the way they play, it works out for them. And just in general, for Hard Legion, obviously Krad had a really good game. But Rage was getting involved in a lot of those opening kills, which I think was a big difference maker for this team. And some of those other players who we don't see much from, like svyat and kinqie at times, they stepped up as well. So really, Hard Legion had to have all their players, all their regular players, step up in this last game. They did just that. And I just hope for Hard Legion's sake that they don't have to have a stand-in next time, because this is what they can do with stand-ins.
Well, you say that, but maybe they should just make him a member of the team. They've had some really good performances. I think the scariest prospect for me is the fact that we saw a 5-0 start for HAVU, and then they still didn't really manage to do too much again. And their CT side really does look fairly weak, in all honesty. I've not been impressed with what I've seen so far. Like, this is the point. So from here, it was 10 rounds in a row for Hard Legion. We were looking at a 15-7 scoreline. How does that even happen, especially on a map that they're normally quite comfortable on, one that I've been impressed by them on in the past? It just didn't look good at all. And for example, again, we talk about Saw. He started 12-2. I remember seeing a point where he was then 15-19. So his initial start was so fantastic, and then just teetered off to almost irrelevancy towards the end. And then this man, Krad, was just able to do so much. So yeah, props obviously to Hard Legion to make it work with a stand-in, 2 different stand-ins over 2 different days, even having a third stand-in yesterday as well, although they did lose that match. To come out and still make your way into the lower bracket final, you have to give props to this team at this point, especially after being eliminated in the group stage of their RMR event. I was worried that maybe this was going to be the death of this team, maybe the fallback or the crumble after they had such a good first RMR event. But instead, they basically proved, no, we've still got fight left in us, and that's a ridiculous scoreline. 31-13. Can't really ask much more from Krad in that series. Second, as well, as you mentioned, was Rage, but there really wasn't that bad a player on their side. Sure, okay, the stand-in didn't do too well in this map, but throughout the series, I don't think it was a bad performance at all, especially when it came to overpass and the potential to even take it over the line. So, hey, not a bad matchup for them. And for HAVU, I think this is now a decent time to maybe have a break, relax a little bit, and try and come back and get yourself back into form, because as of right now, they're definitely not looking like the team we saw back at Flashpoint, or even the team that I got to watch during Blast Rising, where they were champions of as well. So it's not the same team at the moment, and they're not performing to the standard we expect.
Yeah, and from what we've seen from Rage over on the Hard Legion side in the past, I never thought I'd see a game where he gets 8 entry kills and he gets so much impact to start things off. That's been a real positive sign for me for Hard Legion, because he was one of the pieces that had been missing previously. And here is that AWP battle. Even though ZOREE got similar kills in terms of the AWPing, Rage did better. ZOREE was also top fragging for his team, which again is nice that he was doing an alright job. He was definitely having impact in some of those rounds, but not consistently enough across the board. And, well, we've got another game on our hands, Tom. I know you might not be able to believe that, but we do, and it should be a very good one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Obviously, I am dressed appropriately with my bias, so this should be a good match. But of course, we do need to head off to a break, and after that, we'll be back with Nordavind facing off against forZe.